Hello, and welcome to Concerts from the Library of Congress. My name is Claudia Morales, and I'm here with my colleague, Michelle Glim. Today, I'm super excited to welcome to our digital stage Havana-born jazz vocalist and composer, Daimé Arocena. Characterized as one of the world's fastest rising jazz vocalists by the New Yorker, and compared to such luminaries as Celia Cruz, Aretha Franklin, and Nina Simone by NPR. Daimé Arocena is here to talk about her virtual concert and her 5 educational videos streaming in September as part of the 2021-2022 season of concerts from the Library of Congress. Dear Daimé, welcome to the library. We're so delighted to have you here.
Thank you so much for that warm welcoming. Honestly, it's a pleasure for me to be here too.
Daimé, let's dive in right into your virtual program that you have prepared for us. So we are dying to know, technology allowed you to record this virtual concert with your band, but you guys were not in the same territory. Can you please tell us all the behind the scenes stories and how this process took place?
Well, I will try to be as quick as possible because it was such a long process. First of all, when we received the invitation to participate in this series of concerts, I was like kind of scared because I really wanted to do it with my band, but my band is back home in Havana, Cuba, where internet connection is not too available, it's not too easy to access, and also it's pretty slow. So I knew we couldn't play together at the same time. We had to create a live vibe, but in a recording session. So my idea was to take previous recordings of the songs and record my voice on top, and then create like voice notes for them to guide themselves and give them the VPM. That VPM, I believe, means beats per minute. VPM, beats per minute. Yeah. So the is like the tempo for them to play. So then I sent that to them back to Havana, those guidelines with the BPM. So they will be hearing just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then okay, break. Okay, now raise up. Okay, down. So they actually weren't listening to me properly singing. They had in their headphones my guidelines, just telling them what to do in each part of each song. So that's the way they recorded the entire concert. So that's that was the first step. We found someone to put a couple of cameras to record them performing, and that I have to say, thanks God, my best friend works in an embassy, and that she has better internet connection to send those files back to me. And even though in the embassy it took her 2 days to upload the files to send them to me. So we actually had the backup idea of a key, like a USB key, a pen drive, to send it through DHL to get the files in Toronto, even though they are not big files, but it's just difficult to get them from Cuba. And then we realized that DHL wasn't traveling from Cuba. It was pretty stressful times, but at the end, we got the files in Toronto. Then I had to record again guidelines for me in order to sing on top of the music they recorded. So while you see me in the concert with headphones, but actually I'm listening to my band playing and I'm listening to myself saying, start here, 1, 2, 3. So it was a lot of things behind it to actually make that look that way. It's a lot of pre and post production work. We wanted to make that look with like similar. It was never gonna be the same because the spots that we filmed were totally different and things like that. But we wanted to create a mood in between that at least will connect all of us, that people will feel that we were all together and we didn't have to do all this pre and post-production stuff to make that work. So my husband and I, we thought that maybe a drawing that will be connecting both sets, like filming sets, will help with the mood and the vibe of the entire concert. So he created like a mural. That's how we call it in Spanish. I don't know what's the right word in English for that. Where he painted a little bit. He's a visual artist, so he painted a little bit. He also wrote the names of the songs and all of that. My husband is working a lot in video arts, so he tried to create this vibe in between the visual arts and the design and painting he did in the background with the music. And we also got a great pretty young sound engineer in Cuba who matched all the files, like all the recordings together and made it sound so good. So that actually feels that we all recorded together, like at the same time.
Diamond, let me stop you there for one quick question before you move forward. So how did you come up with the idea that you described earlier to record the beats, the instructions, and then for them to send us to you and then you sing on top of that? How did you conceptualize that method?
Well, the thing is that a lot of my songs, because I haven't mentioned that the entire concert is made by original compositions of mine. A lot of my songs are based in jazz music where there is a lot of vibe stuff. So my musicians know that if I move this hand, they should start here. So it's a lot of guiding that is because the vibe we create in between us. So I had to put my mind in that position of a live show where I will breathe and I will start here. But I don't need to say that to my musicians, like start here. They just need to see my body to do this, like, and they know, bam, and they start. So I will need to say start here and 1. I try to put in voice what they will see with their eyes normally. So honestly, I don't know how I got that idea, but it worked out.
Yes, you did. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful job. Real quickly, you brought up jazz, and I understand that you have a love of jazz and hip hop music. What brought you to that part of your musician career here?
Well, I always speak about Nina Simone because she was my first jazz love. I wasn't interested in jazz until I discovered at the age of 15 Nina Simone. And I was asking myself, because I just had like a Born CD with music, and it was like a compilation of singers, so I wouldn't even know who I was listening to. A great friend of mine called Joaquin Sosa gave that album to me, and I was listening to that, and I was saying, who is this person? Is it a man? Is it a female? Who is this? And I remember that I fell in love with I Put a Spell on You, and another song like that is a version of hers, but a lot of people have seen that. That is called I Love You, Porgy. And when I came back next day to the school, we were classmates. So I said to my friend, hey, thanks for the CD. I enjoyed it a lot. There are two persons that I loved. Uh, I don't know who they are, but they are just great. So I started like singing the melodies of the songs. So when I started singing I Put a Spell on You, he said, oh, that's I Put a Spell on You, and that's Nina Simone. I was like, oh, okay, first of all, he's a woman. Then she's just great. Third, I want to sing like her. So I was like, whoa, she's deep. And then and then I started singing the other song. And he said, actually, that's Nina Simone too. I was like, no way, because she could change her entire soul to interpret a song. So she will transform herself to sing songs. So if you don't know that it's the same person, you can actually think it's different people singing songs. So I was so impressed, and I said, okay, I don't know who she is, but I'm gonna find out, and I want to be like her. That's all I said to myself. Then I started getting into a mood of jazz music, and the journey is being beautiful. And I have to say that I joined the big band of my conservatory that is focused on all they do, and that's the program for Cuban educational artists. It's just classical, like European classical musicians. So you study like Brahms, Schubert, Schumann, Mozart, Beethoven, Rachmaninoff. Yeah, you study those guys. Nothing like jazz or things like that. But thanks God, we had this project that was a big band, and I got to join them too. So the big band made a lot of influence on myself too. So I knew I wanted to put all my ideas together in the same package. I have been writing music since I can remember. I always had that creativity, and it's been with me my whole life. So I just wanted to put my choir conducting knowledge. That is what I studied as I am a choir conductor. So my knowledge of voices and doing things with voices and creating music vibes with voices and stuff. And I wanted to put together jazz and rumba. That is my background. What I saw in my house, I saw people having fun, just playing with the windows and the furniture. They would play rumba all the time. So I had that in my blood already, the rumba vibe, the educational classical music vibe, and the jazz vibe. And I think all of that is probably what you notice today as Daimero Sena. Mostly my songwriting is a lot of that, and hip hop probably is a development of social social issues and things in general. I identify myself a lot with hip hop. I cannot rap at all, but I can definitely vibe it. And they have been in the last few years really interested and connected with jazz. They have realized that jazz and hip hop are coming from the same motherhood, that is, in my opinion, is Africa. So, and I'm a pretty African defendant. I defend a lot of my roots, my heritage, my blood, where it's coming from. I'm so proud of it. So I'm taking the beautiful things about jazz and hip hop too that have a lot of beauty inside. And it's great to say things when you want to say things straight away.
Speaking of which, Daime, speaking of your roots and as you said, defending your roots, your tradition, correct me if I'm wrong, you usually start your show with Narangueo and then you go into Trilogía. Osha, Oshun, Yemaya. Can you tell our audience a little bit about Narangueo, where it comes from, and why you have it usually as the opening of your shows?
Well, the right way to call this is Nangareo. It's difficult, I know. It's a ceremony that or slaves or Black slaves in Cuba, that is a mix in between different tribes like Lukumi, Arara, Bantu, Karapali, Congo, Yoruba. So those guys had a lot of different rituals to do, and they all mixed together in Cuba. So that's why I don't call myself a Yoruba, because I'm not. I'm a Santera. I am the mix of a lot of tribes at the same time. And we talk a few things of all of them. The Nangareo is what they used to do every single morning before going to work. And it's a chant that you do to the sun. Basically, you are asking the sun for its blessing, but also you're asking for permission to do adivinations, because every single adivination should be made with the moon. So is the star, and how do you say, is the astro, is the, yeah, is the astrology thing that you should have with you when you are making adivination. So Nangareo should be made before midday. That is the moment that the sun is straight away with the earth where you are. So right before midday, you have to ask the sun for permission, because after that time, midday, the sun starts coming down slowly and the moon is starting raising up. So you are asking permission of the sun to deal with the moon that is burning, right? So that's why I decided to write a poem that the first phrases are before the moon born, before I exist. So it's like your existence starts with the moon, especially as a female, as a woman. So before doing all of that, before starting my journey, before talking about who I am, before showing myself to the world, I want to ask permission to the sun. So, and normally the way people will do it in Cuba is with a plate of cooked corn, ¿cómo se dice? Flour.
Cornmeal, yeah.
Yeah, cornmeal, and it's kind of sweet. They add honey and they add milk, and they put it on top like this for the sun, and they sing Nangareo, ay natutukwalaye, Nangareo, 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 Nangareo. So it's actually a little bit more danceful. And people eat like they eat that breakfast right before starting the adivination moment. So that's why I thought it's just a beautiful way to start anything, with the blessing of the sun and the moon that is on top of any religion, or deities or mindsets, is something that you can see, is something that you can feel, and anybody can get the vibe. That's my opinion.
That's wonderful. Your preparation for the educational videos, I truly enjoyed the videos, and I couldn't decide which was my favorite. How did you decide to go about creating them in the manner that you did? I think it is it's going to be very great for both young, old musicians and non-musicians. So I was very impressed with that. Could you tell us a
Well,
little bit about that?
yeah, sure. I'm a professor, so I don't work as a professor anymore,
Mhm.
but I'm trained to be a professor. I mean, as a choir conductor, that's what you are. And you are conducting people, you are teaching people, you are explaining people what to do. And a lot of my years of training, they makes you uh, understand a lot behind the music. So not just the music, but the facts. Where in time that music was written, who wrote it, who was this person. Like you gotta understand a lot to get actually the right way to interpret the music, because you are teaching a collective of people to feel in the same way, to act in the same way, to sing in the same way. So you need to set up that first in your mind, and then you tell people, okay, this Bach song was written in this moment. He had this kind of vibes with he lived, so we should do it in this way. So normally I do that kind of thinking a lot before making any music, even my own music. So for me, explaining, preparing myself to teach people is something that I enjoy a lot. And when I got requested to make these church classes, I was like, okay, I have a couple of minutes, in between 2 minutes and 5 minutes, to teach people a little bit about my homeland, my culture, my music. I have to be clear. I have to express as much as I can in a little amount of money, of time. Sorry, my English is funny sometimes. Um, so I have a little amount of time to make people understand, people that maybe have no idea at all about Cuban music or Cuban culture. So I need to be, how can I say, transparent. Yeah, transparent. And so I wrote everything down line by line. Like I wanted everything to be well done, and I'm glad people got to understand that. I mean, you already saw it, so it makes me feel good that you understand everything that I tried to teach about my homeland.
I really enjoyed Daime. I love them all, of course. And I was particularly interested in the one that you talk about Afro-Cuban influences in music. And I thought that was very interesting because you take us from the history of Cuba, and as you said, in a couple of minutes to where we are right now. But let me ask you something. In the program that you prepared for us, there's one particular song from your album, your first album, and the song is En Ruso. And El Ruso has a very interesting story behind it that I really enjoy. Can you share that with your audience?
Yes, I keep singing that song because people love it. And it's probably one of the songs that I just did like pretty relaxed. I didn't think a lot with that song. El Ruso is the story of a friend of mine that is a Russian DJ. We recorded a few songs together. I enjoyed it a lot, recording music with him, but I still don't know why. I believe it was some problem with his cell phone, that I will get text messages of him in Russian, a few Russian words, and I will say, what is he saying? Like, I don't understand. And I will write back like, dude, in English, please. At least I can defend myself in English, but Russian is not working anymore. I mean, people used to study Russian in Cuba, but honestly, thanks God, I didn't get that. So I don't speak Russian at all. And I got that vibe because my mom, she's the generation of people that studied Russian in the school, but she doesn't remember anything. I will ask my mom, do you understand what he's saying? And she will say, I forgot that. Like, I don't remember a word. So that's why I wrote a song saying, like, even my mom who studied Russian don't understand it. So you gotta be clear and at least write me in English. So I got the vibe, I got the song, I wrote it. I thought it was just funny. And still today, like 8 years after that recording, a few days ago, I got an email of Paquito de Rivera saying, what about that Russian song? I love it. I never thought jazz could be funny. And I still get impressed that people like this song. People play it. People it's being in movies. Like I'm like, okay. Sometimes you mind a lot the music, and it doesn't really goes that far. And then you just have fun and things bloom. I mean, I don't know.
I think you can feel it. I think you can feel that the vibe in that song. It tells a story. And by the way, El Ruso is the Russian for our English speaking audience. So I had fun listening to the story, and it's a fun song. Speaking of your mom, you just mentioned your mom. Can you tell us about a little bit about your family and the story behind your name? There's a very cute story behind Daime. Many people think, what's that Daime mean? What is the meaning of Daime?
Well, my parents are so funny and creative, and they decided to create names for their both kids, and they made the combination of the first syllable of their names. So my father's name is Dagoberto, and my mother's name, she has a first name and middle name. So my mother's name is Angela Mercedes. So in my case, they talk that is the first syllable of my father's name, and me, which is the first syllable of my mother's middle name. And they put and, that in Spanish is y in the middle. So da, y, me. And in the case of my brother, they talk the first syllable of my father's name and the first syllable of the first name of my mother, which is Angela. So da, y, ang. So my brother's name is Diane. My name is Daime. And it just
Happened.
I mean, it worked out really good. I was trying to do that with my husband. We still have no kids, but we were making combinations, and we were like, this doesn't work. So it worked for them, and I'm glad they got it because they got pretty fun names, small, not too common names. Not everybody's called Daime. Diane is more common actually, but the way it's writing is not that common. So they brought together a great idea for names that may not work for everybody, but they got that good luck.
So what's next for you? I understand that you have a new album coming out. Is there something interesting in that you want to talk about and tell us about?
Well, I have been working a lot in bringing new music together. People sometimes ask me, "Do you have new music written down?" And I always say, "Yes." It's just sometimes things around is slower than my songwriting, but I write a lot of music, and I always have new music for the new album. So I decided to put together around, still I don't know how many songs are gonna be because we are starting working now in the new album, but it's an album inspired in the pandemic. It's not a sad album at all. It's gonna be a lot about dancing and having fun. I always say it's inspired in the pandemic because I have been inside this apartment for so long.
Mhm.
And music is being saving my life and saving my soul. And every single time I feel sad or I feel I cannot handle this situation anymore, I'll play music. But it's interesting that I will not play music that makes me feel sad. I will play music that makes me feel great. So I will play music that makes me dance, that makes me enjoy myself. So I put a compilation of songs. I made like a playlist just for myself of songs that makes me feel so good. And I checked my notebook. I have a lot of notebooks where I write or read my songs.
Mhm.
And I started putting together compositions of mine that are joyful. So that's the vibe of the next album. It's a lot about dancing and having fun because I believe that's the energy we have to send to the world right now. So you are gonna get a lot of Afrobeats that honestly I have been enjoying a lot. Of course, you're gonna get some rumba too, and you're gonna get some samba. So it's like fun. Dance. Yeah. Reggae too. I'm working in some reggae. So,
That's wonderful. I mean, we're definitely looking forward to what's coming up in your career, Diamond. We have enjoyed so much talking with you this morning. If do we have any other questions from the audience? And not at this moment. Okay. So, Diamond, would you like to invite your audience to your streaming?
totally. And I would like to actually, because I have been kind of crazy. When is the streaming?
It's October 15 at 8 p.m.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. That's my anniversary.
Oh, special
Ah,
day.
Wonderful.
My husband and I will be 5 years that day. So
Well,
that's
tell him
amazing.
that's your anniversary present to him.
I always said that. Okay, so everybody, don't miss that. I'm glad that we actually collaborated in this project together. So yeah, the energies are all working together in this project. Okay, so guys, please go and check the concert that we have created with a lot of struggles, but joy at the same time for you in Library of Congress, especially. Thank you for inviting us to join you guys in this concert series. You cannot miss that, especially because it's our anniversary date. So it's the day of the first kiss. So it's not even the anniversary of our marriage that I believe is mainly like a contract. Is the day of the first kiss of my husband and I. So it's gonna be that you're gonna feel that great vibe of love and joy that we both, thanks God, have. So I really hope you enjoy the concert the way we enjoyed it too. 15th of October.
Thank you, Diamond, so much. We enjoy so much talking with you this morning. And again, to everyone watching from home, you have to tune in on October 15 at 8 p.m. for a concert from the Library of Congress to watch Diamond Arocena. Thank you so much, Diamond.
Thank you so much, girls. My
Thank
pleasure.
you.